Welcome traders. Just looking at the charts, trying to see if we get a trade today. It's Friday, so we've had a lot of sloppy movement. I don't want to do nothing in the markets on the charts unless the market drops in this level I told you about yesterday. I feel like the real move is not gonna happen until it gets in here, or until it gets drawn into here. So since this move started at 7 o'clock New York time, boom, right? This New York session. We had a displacement, a fair value gap right here. This would have been a trade if I was awake. I woke up a little later today, but all right, perfect. It's also around the 1.0580 institutional level. So price got making here. That'll be a trade. And you can now use the idea that it's gonna get drawn into here due to the fact that it's a double bottom, which retail is gonna see support. All right. I really wish I was awake for that, but it's okay. So until price gets drawn into here, I don't want to do nothing. And depending on what time it gets here, I just probably won't do nothing. This is just a cool study on price. Just to watch price do what you expect it to do, even though I'm not participating. But I definitely see price going here without a question. And now I'm just gonna sit back and watch what happens. So far, if you look at it, the day started right here, right? That's where the day started. Boom. All right, this is the midnight open. So we're gonna call it midnight. You know what I'm saying? That's a midnight open. So it's the price right there. Dash line. All right. And what do we have? Have price go higher, higher, higher. That's 2 a.m., which is London session. Remember, this is all New York time. 2 a.m. to about 5 a.m. It's all London. So once it's 2 a.m. right here, market just went straight lower. Give it a retracement, right? And went lower again. This wasn't a bad trade either if you're awake. So what do you have right here? A little gap right there, right at the institutional level. Right at the 1.0580 level. You had the market break structure. Boom, look at this swing plane broke. This swing plane broke. So when it came back in here, you could have saw with expectation, yes, it would be drawn to over here, this area. But of course, it didn't get there. But this would be enough for you to take something off the table. I mean, if price all the way over here, you can definitely take something off the table. And then maybe need some partials in it. Of course, it came back up. So it's London. It went down. And boom, boom, boom. So start going higher. And then this is lunchtime, London lunch right here. And during lunch, what they do? They ran the market all the way up. taking out people that are already short, just to come back again. Boom, break lower, entry right here. Boom. So now they take out people that are short. Now it's more likely for them to. It makes sense. It's more logical for them to take up people that are long right now. It might just have a day of consolidation, or the market doesn't really do much. It just goes up and down. But this would have been a good move to catch, and you don't even have to wait for the market to come all the way down here, which I'm expecting to do. But you can easily look at this swing point right here, right? This swing point right here. That's liquidity right there. Right, once price. And by the way, we're also above. It's good to note that. Well, this is a good sell right here. We're above the midnight price. So the market was in, and we took liquidity and start coming back down. So market was in what? It was at a premium price. So the market has been priced up higher by the algorithm. And then we also have it taking out liquidity and breaking lower, creating a displacement. Because when big money hops in the market, they hop in with a lot of, size and position. So whenever you see a move like this, where there's a gap, right? And of course, a break of structure right here, this swing point, you want to pay attention to that and see. With the idea, of course, you gotta know, where am I targeting? And my target, like I said, will be here. It makes sense for them to, after taking out the highs, for them to come back. For them to, people that have false hope that this is gonna serve as support, you know what I mean, for them to attack that. So, let's see, there's any trade I can take right here. See, if you look on 15 minutes, it's harder to read, because that's why I go down to these lower time frames, for it to make sense sometimes. But I'm not gonna take any trade. I'm just gonna watch this pan out. Let's see, 3 minutes. Nothing intriguing yet. That's nothing I like as a trade personally. Unless I was already long here, short here. I'm good on this. So we had a bounce from the midnight price. And also notice this too, right? In case you're just watching from a 15-minute. Notice how we also created this displacement. Right? Boom, broke higher. So it also makes sense for there to be some type of bounce. But the reason why I wouldn't take this trade expecting to go all the way to the top is because there's liquidity resting here. And what is this level? Why am I expecting here for the market to, even find support there? Because of this gap right here. Right there. So it's reasonable for them to come down here, at least rebalance. They might even spike through it to tap this order block, the top high of it, before going higher. So that's what I'll be expecting. I'm still bearish on this thing, but not pressing any buttons. Feels good sometimes when you're not pressing any buttons, just to watch price move. That's my dog snoring over there in case you hear any type of funny noises. But now let's just sit back and watch price and see what we get. But I want to feel really comfortable taking any longs though, personally. With this, not with this right here. I'm sorry, it's too much. Honestly speaking, I'll probably be at break even now, right here, especially if it already went below here and I will come all the way back up. If it's gonna keep going lower, there's no need for it to break above this high again. And also, this is a counter trend to what I'm really expecting the market to do on the higher time frame, which is really keep pushing higher. So that's why you also want to be more aggressive. When you're counter trending on taking your profits, but I don't see why they wouldn't go below here. So just keep watching. So as you can see, fast forward a couple minutes later, my system wasn't able to keep recording. I don't know what happened, but Euro melted to its levels that I called, right? And I was just watching this trade. I wasn't participating, but you can see I was outlining everything else as it was happening in real time. I was expecting to go in here, and I mentioned I wouldn't want to do nothing unless the market comes in here and gives me a break in market structure or something. But also I know that they could use it for a draw on liquidity, because knowing we have a double bottom here, knowing that this is a level where we are expecting the market to come to rebalance before making a move higher. If there's enough room, I mean, this was a 1 to 3.2 risk reward, depending on if you enter the trade, of course, around midpoint, because you can also use the midpoint of this fair value gap, right? Depending on how patient you are, you can use the midpoint of this area, which would be, if you draw a fib there, 1.05833, all right? 1.05833. So if you just do that, then you get a 1 to 5. Stop loss above here. And I'm sorry, I felt I was re-listening to the video and I was real sleepy. I'm mad I didn't wake up on time, and I'm sorry. Next time I'm gonna be more cautious about that, and I'm not gonna sound sus. I sound like a zombie, okay? But not anymore. Next time I'm gonna be way more cautious of that. But anyways, back to my point. So we had this displacement, like I mentioned, by around 7 o'clock, perfect time. Market comes back in this area. This displacement represents big money institutions getting into the market, getting into the game. The algorithm repriced quick, and then they didn't have enough time to offer selling within this area. I mean, offer buying, because you can see this is a big sell. Then they had to offer some buying in there. So offer the buying here before breaking lower again. Then we have a drop, another gap right there. What was that also? The same scenario we have up here. Aggressive selling, no buying offers, so they came back again, offered some buying, then dropped the market lower, and eventually lower, took out this level I was talking about, and went exactly where I was saying that it was gonna go. And I said it could. I mentioned I won't do nothing, right? Or I was expecting it. I was expecting it to want to draw in here and then really draw in here. Before the market even opened, I had called this. I said, look, we're gonna go in here and then probably find some support. That's what I used to take a long. But this happened. Reason I outlined this on the video when I was recording the price action, because this is between 10 o'clock to 11. So I was expecting price to get here by that time. I was expecting the algorithm to get here by this time. And that's exactly what happened. 10 o'clock, boom. Well, it went here first in 10:05. So within this 10 to 11 period, that's when I was expecting the market to get in here. So since it did that, that's already London close time, and it's Friday. The probability of them taking the market higher, after that, it's already Friday, was lower. Now, if this had happened during London, I'll gladly take a high, take a buy. But it happened during New York, so it wasn't worth taking a strike at the market. And I said this fair value gap right here was going to get rebalanced, and it could potentially spike through to tap this order block, right? And that's exactly what it did. So I'm actually very happy with that. And you can see right here, I didn't really participate, but still, just being able to predict what price does, when you can do that every day or see it happen more than often, often enough, it's encouraging. It's encouraging, letting you know that you're actually learning, developing, and getting better at what you do. So I expect that to happen. That's exactly what happened. And like I said, this could be used as a trade. Since this was happening during New York, you could have used that as an idea that the market was going to get drawn into this area, especially after we have a double bottom. I mean, they do this on purpose. This is engineered liquidity. I mean, think about it. There's nothing like. That's why I'm happy I don't trade retail anymore, because why on earth would they literally bring the market right here? And now it's like a textbook double bottom, right? that we all learned in books, and I randomly take it higher, right? What are you gonna expect when it comes to here? You're gonna think retail's gonna think this is support. Matter of fact, I remember I used to draw out a zone, right? Boom. You'd be like, boom, perfect. It's funny how the wicks match the wicks. Oh, this is a zone. You know, you expect a bounce when it comes in. Guess what they did? They gave you a little bounce, right, quickly, right? Hopped in this little fair value gap in here, if you can really see. There's a small gap in there. Boom, before tank, melting the market, and then melting some more. So, interesting to see. Whenever you see stuff like this, it lets you know there's really an algorithm running the market. Because there's nothing that's gonna literally just. Why would the market stop on the dime right here? Same. Let me see what the low of this candle is. 1.05547. This one's 1.05548. So it's literally off by 1 pipet. Just a little higher. Just one little pipet higher. Crazy. So this is just a setup for a later move on, you know, for them to build liquidity right here so they could take that. Now, since it's Friday, I don't know if we're gonna just bounce from here going into Monday, but I do expect higher prices. The cool thing is dollar is doing the exact right opposite. Dollar was getting drawn into the same levels. If you look at this, this is also the level I told you dollar was gonna get to. And I was gonna take if dollar got here within London session, I've been looking to expect dollar to melt, which means I was gonna buy foreign currencies during New York, or depending on what time it got here. Since it got here late in the day, I couldn't do nothing with it. But if it got here, like I said, early London session, I would expect to break down, then take a sell. Expect dollar to sell, and that equates to buying foreign currencies. But yeah, so dollar itself hadn't gone to that level too, but it's cool to see that. I called this on the last video on YouTube that it can come in here and rebound. I didn't show you the level at first, but this is the level I was talking about. I just gave you a price point. But it was really this gap in here, and then we had an order block too, so the market just came there, it wicked it, literally. And it's now starting to now it's starting to drop. So, what do we have on dollar? Same thing, took out liquidity right here, and start reversing higher, displacement. Same thing that Euro saw, the exact opposite. Boom, symmetry, that's what you want to see in the market. Higher again, displacement, boom. Higher displacement, boom, running up in here. Now, so that it's a beautiful thing to see. Now I'm kind of pissed off. I did take a buy in S&P. When really I should have been focused on sales. I took a buy without looking at the dollar. Usually I look at the dollar to make a decision, and you're gonna see something at this 940 level. 940 time, all right? Indices open at 930. I mean, that's when, they start going crazy. A lot of volatility kicks in the market. So, me knowing that, I mean, look at this, right? And y'all gonna say it's hindsight cool, but I'm just telling you how I would look at the market to make a good decision. So, me seeing this look at this. I want y'all to logically think about it, right? Just logic, that's all I'm using to trade the market. And understand there's an algorithm running the market and not just random buyers and sellers. So, if you see price like this, there's money resting above here. They're not just gonna start turning the market around. And then I already knew that the market was likely to get in here to, rebalance. So it's common sense that you're gonna expect the dollar to keep going higher. You know what I'm saying? Which means what for indices? They should drop. Which means what for currencies? They should also drop. If dollar's going higher, indices and currencies should drop. So I wasn't paying attention. Also, look at this. This is clear. There's liquidity right here. There's a high. They're gonna run it through. They're not gonna let people if they run this high, they're gonna run this high. And then there's also clearly a level in here that Because why did I expect it to come here? Look at this. This is all selling, selling, selling. There hasn't been any buying within this area where the move started. So I would expect them to come there and rebalance the market before maybe making a move lower. So point is, you see the market like this, people are gonna have their stop losses right here. Some people right here. That's just layered liquidity. That's just liquidity being in the market. People definitely have a stop loss here, especially after this break lower. But you know, if you're being reasonable, broke lower and started rejecting quickly. It didn't waste no time. So it's coming for the people that are like, yeah, dollar's gonna keep dropping, or people that are selling. It's coming for the sellers right now to come take their liquidity. I bet you when it start going up here, and this would be the, you know, we don't trade dollar, well, you can only imagine foreign currency, right? When it started coming up here, if this was a foreign currency, and let's say you had to stop right here, someone in retail is gonna be like, oh, okay, they're coming right here, and move my stop right here. It's just extending your loss and increasing how much you're gonna lose, because they're not just gonna come right here, take it and run, you know, go backwards. They're gonna take everyone out the game. So look at this 940 price, right? And I want to show y'all Nasdaq and how I just blew it. How I just wasn't paying attention enough. Where's 940? Let's do this bar replay thing. I'm just gonna show y'all. Whether it's hindsight, I don't care. This is how you learn, anyways. But this is something I would have definitely seen. I just wasn't paying attention to it. Perfect. So look at this placement right here, right? First of all, this was the initial. Let me outline what I saw. I just wasn't looking. So we had, right, this liquidity right here taking, boom, market drop and dropped. Look at this displacement right here, little fair value gap. Cool, right? And I'm gonna show y'all something in US 30 on how we could have capitalized on this. I just didn't pay attention. And I did mention on YouTube yesterday that the fact that I said it can go either way, right? Cause I wanted them to see them take out this liquidity. I mean, the way to stop right here. This again, look, this is proof that the algorithm is just all literally a setup. It's just a lot of engineered liquidities, manipulation. It's nothing more than that. I think at this point, we can put that to rest. I don't know how you can think otherwise after seeing stuff like this in the charts. But look at how they just stopped right here. People are gonna think this is support. Gives you that triple bottom idea that we learned in books, right? Boom. And there's also liquidity I was expecting. These are levels I outlined on my YouTube video. If you watch the YouTube video from May 19th, 2022, daily recap. But these are levels right here I was expecting the market to go to. And I might have not used NASDAQ, maybe I used S&P, but same thing. I think I used NASDAQ though, but these are levels I was expecting the market to go to, right? And I said, I don't know, it can go either way. But knowing that dollar at 940 had that level, because look, this is 940. And look, there's also another displacement right here. So just in case you didn't see this one, right? This one could have been used too, right? Look what dollars doing at the time. This is the 940. This is 945. NASDAQ. 940, 945. So a trade could have been taken in here, right? And look at this. When they dropped, then they break structure. This is the ICT YouTube model again, with the logic with adding the dollar to it, right? Adding the, you know, using the dollar as a intermarket correlation to confirm the move. We know dollar's drawing higher, so we expect indices to drop. Look at that gap right there, right? This could have been short right here. Stop loss right here. It came so close. And really, I'll be honest with you, I probably would have moved my stop loss here just because, you know, this is another, but it depends on how bold you are, because you really wouldn't expect it to actually break above the top. That's the real thing. So, but knowing me, just to be safe, I'll just say I'm gonna do this. But let's just say you went with this. Cool. And look at this. I want you to look at this, right? I'm gonna show you US 30, real quick. I'll be on that 30-second chart, man. Oh man, this thing just, ugh. Okay, where's the bar replay? At least some levels real quick. You ignore these levels, they're not important right now, so. So, US 30, right? We had the same exact thing going on US 30 right here, right? Same thing. Now I also want to show y'all S&P. Really, I think S&P is really the one I want to show y'all because it is that buy I took. Like I told you, I took a little buy, and I shouldn't have. I just wasn't paying attention to the right thing. How do you use the bar replay? Okay. Let's go back to 9. I just want to show y'all something. So next time, it's that buy. I was taking a buy. It kind of tricked me out. I saw a little gap in here. I took a buy, went higher, but you know. Let's focus on what I was trying to show you. So look what's happening to NASDAQ, right? First of all, one, see how they punched above here on S&P. So that's already should have been like a red flag. Okay, they took liquidity here. NASDAQ, what did they do at that same time? Right here, it's the same level, 930, right? Look at that right here. Well, 925, they ran above this 835 high. This 835 high over here, they didn't do that. So that's already like, okay, cool. NASDAQ is weaker, one, right? And they didn't run this high, the same high that it ran on S&P. They didn't run on NASDAQ, and they didn't run on US 30 either, if I'm not mistaken. And then boom, what do we have? So see, S&P's wasn't as clear. You can also see how the bodies of this candle on S&P went way higher than the bodies of this candle, right? So this is 940. This is 940. Look at this bodies below here. So that alone is giving you clues like, okay, they're just really manipulating S&P, really taking that market higher, and really just making false moves on S&P. Because we do know, remember, it's that at the same time, don't forget the dollar is what we're using to realize, okay, the market's probably going to drop. And since we're expected to drop, a reasonable level will be one here, look right, on this liquidity. That's one level. You take some parts out. And the secondary level will clearly be at the low of the day, of yesterday. And if it's going to go there, it should go to these levels that I outlined later. Outlined earlier. These levels are levels from the daily chart. So look at this trades, man. That's why I'm like, dang, I should. If I was looking, and I promise you, this is not a trade. Like this, I'm giving you this game because this is a trade we can all catch. This is not, even though it's hindsight, this is how you learn. This is something I would have saw, honestly speaking. I didn't look at the dollar. I was busy doing a lot of things, and I didn't pay attention to the fact of the dollar, because clearly, like I said, let's not forget the dollar. At this same time, 940. This 940. It was obvious dollar's running higher, no question. That's no question, right? So it would have been obvious. It made sense too that indices were going to drop. And once you start seeing the market drop aggressively, you have displacement. It's telling you it must keep going lower. All they did, come back in there, like I said, rebalanced. Right there, right? And remember when this happened, they haven't taken out this liquidity. They haven't really taken out no liquidity except for this, but this was clearly obvious where people put stop losses. And so you've been taking partials here, and They created another displacement, but just straight melted. Oh my gosh! And then if you had the, I would have held. I would taken partials, of course, but buddy. So this it's crazy. If I just was paying attention a little more, beautiful, beautiful, beautiful trade, beautiful, right? And there you have it. Then it hit the levels and it starts reversing. So there ain't no random buying going on. These are levels that are on the daily chart. That it's logical for it to hit there. Then liquidity is gone. There's no need to keep dropping. And reverse it. So I don't know anyone's number. Like I don't know who the big fishes are. Where I tell you ahead of time that they're probably gonna come right here. If they come right here, they're taking liquidity. It means they're probably gonna take liquidity and go the other way. That's all they're trying to do. So I hope you learned a lot from this. I mean, even me myself, just seeing that. I'm not even mad, actually. If I saw it, it'd been a beautiful thing. I mean, but I've seen this before. And I'm seeing it again. And I'm keep seeing it again. So it's a beautiful thing. Once you see stuff like this, you realize how what you're learning is very, very insightful. And, you know, it's really how the markets trade based off an algorithm. That's it. You just got to see those displacements, breaking structure, you know, with logic, seeing if they ran out of liquidity already, see what the dollar's doing. You got to think, but at the end of the day, it makes logical sense. Everything makes sense, and yeah, go with that mindset when you trade. And I mean, you can still use retail trading, of course, nothing wrong with that. But I personally have found it very more insightful because I know what price is gonna do instead of me guessing. I mean, it's still always gonna be an element of luck, but for the most part, I can see what price is more likely gonna do. And I've been learning this for only like a year now. So I'm happy, glad, preaching my mentor ICT because he is amazing. You know what I'm saying? He's the one that gave me the game. You can check his YouTube channel out. But just a year of doing this, I can only imagine how it's going to be in a couple more years. But being able to see price move based off of logic, based off of these displacements, based off an algorithm is very, very powerful. So I hope y'all have a wonderful weekend. And see y'all maybe Monday. I might do a video this weekend talking about what I expect the market to do. But y'all have a wonderful day.